Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Soo, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
Trip Planner by Expedia. You were made to outdo your vacationing, your hammocking, and your pooling. We were made to help organize the competition. Expedia, made to travel.
The amazing Kate Casey.
Welcome back for another episode of Reality Life with Kate Casey. And if you are looking for something really funny to listen to today, this week, I have you covered because back with me in this episode is Chris DeRosa, reality TV producer, co-host of Fixing Famous People podcast. We are going to talk about 2 different shows. The first is called A Sorority Mom's Guide to Rush, and this is on Lifetime. Now, you should go back, if you have not already done so, and listen to episode 1376. This is about inside Sorority Rush. I interviewed Leighton Newberry, who is owner of Recruitment Ready, and she talks about the coaching, that process that goes into sorority. I did not know anything about the sorority world, and that was a fascinating interview. There are so many of you that have reached out to me since that episode has aired. And I talked with Chris a little bit about the feedback that I got in terms of people's personal experiences with sororities. I think the best unscripted TV, as I always say, is taking you into a world that is dissimilar than your own. So I love to learn about little social structures and social groups and experiences that are unlike my own. And, it's the benefit of being an older person looking in and then reflecting on the person that I was at the age in which many of these young women are approaching this sorority rush experience. It's kind of fun to go back in time and think about who you were at that time and what you would have done in a similar situation. So we talk about this show on Lifetime. Now, it is basically 10 episodes where you track in each episode a mother and a daughter. And in most cases, the mother is way more invested in the sorority, probably because she had been in one. And it's interesting, even talking to people who were in a sorority 10 years ago, that the whole system has changed a bit. So in the earlier years, you would have a better chance if your mom had been in a sorority, and it's just not the case anymore. So things have changed in that world. And so that episode 1376 was a deep dive. In this episode, again, you see the mother and the daughters in each episode. Each episode is 2 mother and daughter pairs. And in the first episode, you're going to see one girl who's rushing for a sorority at Auburn and the other is at Ole Miss. And there are these experts that participate in the show, and we've got things to say about that as well. So if you haven't watched the show yet, I encourage you at some point to go watch the episode. It's not necessarily important for you to watch it before this episode, but interesting, fascinating, and hilarious nonetheless. Then also we talk about Love is Blind UK on Netflix. Much like the US version, introduces singles from across an area. In this case, it's the UK and Europe, including England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. And they are all people that are trying to find a long and lasting love. And the social experiment is that you meet behind a wall. So you have no idea what someone really looks like. And then in most cases, they're getting engaged. And then they go to this sort of like a runway and a curtain is lifted. And then you see the person with whom you are now engaged. So it's, I think, a very interesting social experiment, especially when in this case, we're going to go to a different part of the world. You're going to hear their slang, the way that they communicate, the way that it's all very different, I think, from the US version. So if you're somebody who kind of watches these shows like an anthropologist, I think it's right up your alley. Love talking with Chris, always at the best time. And I know that you're going to love this episode. Make sure that you are subscribed to this podcast. Make sure that you are subscribed to my bonus podcasts on Apple Podcasts, but also on Patreon by going to patreon.com/KKC. And if you are listening and you are in the UK, I encourage you to jump in the Facebook group, Reality Life with KKC, because we really want to hear your perspective of things as well. And then, of course, follow me on social media. So here is my interview with Chris. Chris.
Kate.
By the way, have you been watching Real Housewives of Orange County?
Yeah. I mean, yes.
It makes me sad. It's like the Real Housewives of defamation.
At the Valley reunion or whatever,
that was sad too.
Kristen Doty at one point was like, can we just film a show? Can we not do all this legal stuff? And I was like, yes. Yeah. I was like, wow, the first time I've ever agreed with her. You know what I mean? I was like, can't you just, she's like, can't we just film a show? Do we have to do cease and desists and all this stuff? And I'm like, yeah, I agree. And also, can we laugh? Can we laugh on these shows?
Laugh again?
May we please laugh once?
Yeah. Did you see the picture of the Legacy Roni girls going out to lunch?
Sure.
I mean,
Jill, Jill, Ramona, Kelly, and who else was there?
People say they want that show,
Ramona.
But I feel like they want that show, but then if it were on the air, would people watch it?
I think, yes, they would watch it, but I think that they're not the people that they were in season 7 of The Housewives of New York, which is what you all want it to be, but that's just simply not what they are anymore. Simply just because time has happened. Do you know what I mean? And so it's way less, it's not all the girls getting together and going on the trip and all sleeping in the same bed anymore. It just isn't like that, you know?
Well, the first thing that I made you watch was about sororities. Now, let me just preface this by telling you that about 2 weeks ago, I interviewed a recruiting expert for sororities. I was not in a sorority. It is a world that I know very, very little about. Very eye-opening. The net I got was, you really have to have some sort of plan in place. And my friends who have daughters that have tried to be in sororities in the South, which is a whole other ballgame, they really are part of this program months, years in advance. Junior girls may go visit a Southern school, so they're going for a weekend or something, and they're already making relationships. So by the time they show up for the week of sorority rush, they already know people. Meanwhile, someone who came from out of state is up shit's creek because they have to make all these relationships, and it really is who do you know? Not only who do you know in the sorority, but recommendation letters. They're looking at your social media 6 months before. And it would be very normal for someone like myself to show up and go, hey, can I be in a sorority? And people would be like, you're a little bit late to the game.
And for what? What?
It's interesting you say that because I was overwhelmed with response to the subject of sorority rush. And about 50% of the people said, I was in a sorority or I was not in a sorority, and I don't see the point of this. And the other 50%, had participated in the sorority and really felt like it was a seminal part of their young adult life, a connector. They had 1 million bridesmaids in their sorority, and it was one of the greatest experiences of their lives.
Yeah.
So it is a mishmash, but we are two people who did not participate in sorority life.
And I went to a humongous Big Ten school
did.
with huge sorority life, active whole thing. You know what I mean? I went to a school where that was a big part of the school. So
what's your experience viewing it from afar?
I get the how mean do you want me to be? There's a part of me that there are people that are so addicted to structure and having it all laid out for you and you going through the motions and getting your ticking the boxes that someone else has written out for you. And that I feel is what sorority life is. And fraternity life is here's my baked in group of friends that I have to be friends with because I'm in the same frat and or sorority as them. Do you know what I mean? I don't actually have to make my own friends. I have this, I can be accepted into this group on paper. which again, some people want that. They don't want to have
because
to do that.
The idea of making friends may be overwhelming. So
yeah, sure.
This makes it easier.
I personally don't want to have to like be friends with someone that I don't want to be friends with because I'm in the same group as them personally. And also too, it's like, okay, what are we going to do? We have to do all these things. And here's all these things that I'm going to do. I personally am like, no, I want to create my own structure. I want to go out and do what I want to do. And if I want to leave something behind, I'm going to leave it behind. And if I want to do something new, I want to do something new. And there's a structural element to it that I feel like also in college, I feel like some people go to school for so long and like get different degrees. And I'm like, when are you going to like go into the world and get a job? And it's like, instead they try to get like this degree and then their master's and their blah, blah. And like, sometimes you need to get your master's. I'm not like trying to say that it's not what some people should do. But there's a part of me that's like, I couldn't wait to graduate college and like never be in school ever again. Because I was like, I want to work. I want to go do things. I want to experience life. I don't want to sit here and be like doing all my homework so that I can like, you can tell me that I'm smart enough to like get a degree, you know?
I think now that you put it that way, I probably, had I gone to Penn State with you, rejected the idea of being a sorority because I had been in such a structured environment that the last thing I wanted was to be like a curfew and these are the people you have to talk to and these are the rules in order for you to get in there. I probably at that age may have rejected it.
They would go, what would the girls do? What was it called? Every one of your listeners is screaming it. Like when they would have to, it was a social, maybe it was called a social. And it's like the people of the sorority would like go to a frat and just like socialize.
Yeah.
It had to have been called a social, right? That's like the only word that makes sense. But basically it's like either like a sports team or a frat or someone would like court the sorority and they would be like, okay, we're doing a social. So we like have to show up at 6 or 7 p.m. like to like have drinks with these fraternity brothers and like talk to them and socialize and like have like social hour with them before we could, because we'd be like, oh, we're going to go to this party or we're going to go here. And they'd be like, okay, we have a social from like this time to this time and then we'll show up afterwards. And I was like, what?
Well, so you have to phone it in. You have to pretend that you like those people. What if they like at the fraternity is a bunch of dorks, or maybe
then you have to show up and like be professional and like blah blah. Like,
well, by the way, you'd have to do that in real life.
Some people might like that. Yeah, some people might like that. And like again, you're like kind of speed dating without speed dating with all of your friends. Like that's kind of like I can see where some people are like, oh no, I want to like meet new people, or I'm meeting these people in this structured environment. I personally just like don't like that.
Yeah.
Like I always was like, that's so weird that you like have to go do that. And if you don't, that's like a frowned upon. And then people are like shaming you. And then that's like not good.
Well, I'm going to tell you what works against us is that I was told during that first, like, shall we dance experience where you're kind of meeting the sorority, you can't make any jokes. You have to ask questions that are like, oh my God, I love your style. Where do you shop around here? You can't like make a joke.
Yeah.
We were done. Like we
went, one of my friends was in a sorority and I think she ended up leaving the sorority eventually, but like in like, I want to say freshman year, she was in a sorority and there was a thing where it was like a hayride where basically we would get bussed out to this like farm where you would go on this hayride and then have
and then get murdered.
And like drink, you know what I mean? And like bring alcohol and drink. And
Malachi from Children of the Corn is like hiding around a pillar.
Quite literally. And then you would do this hayride and you would see all the stars and you would see all the stuff and you would like drink and then you would go to the bonfire, and like sit around and like talk and blah, blah. And it was like...
Sounds very PA.
It's very PA. Yeah, very Pennsylvania. But like I was my friend's date and she was like, let's like be in character the whole time. Like we're like farmers. And I was like, okay.
Wait, I love her.
No, she's like one of the funniest people I've ever met. And like... We dressed up and like no one else there was like, okay, great. Or like whatever. They were like, you guys are out of your minds. Like, and they were like, and we were like being so funny. And we thought it was so funny.
No,
it was
funny.
Jedediah, obviously, like so fucking stupid, you know?
What would you talk about?
No, Papa Justify. No, we were Papa Justify and Mama Cecile. That was what and she'd be like, Papa Justify. And we would like, it's so fucking stupid. We thought it was so funny. And like,
it is funny.
And her sorority was like, okay. And it was like, it's not a place for fun. It's not a place for...
Oh, no.
And it's a place for hierarchy. We love, especially in America, because we don't have like a royal system. Like, we love a hierarchy or a caste system. I like have a whole idea for a podcast about exactly this. But Like, we love to put ourselves in a hierarchy where we can try to like go up the ladder. Like, that doesn't need to exist. You know what I mean? People are going to be coming for my head, and I understand that. But I'm just like, from the outside, that's what it seems to me.
Yeah.
Is that it's like, I'm putting myself in this
own perspective.
thing.
Sure.
Yes. I'm putting myself in this thing where I'm going to try so hard to like go up the ranks or like get approval from these other people who are just other people.
And truly, there are people that are contrarian. So the idea of getting approval from somebody just makes their blood boil. But then for other people, it's comforting. It's like, I've got a group of friends. We have this like fun. It's totally dependent on the person.
Yes. And I can say, and again, like I can see where people would be like, I think this is fun. But what we watched in this show should be, my first note is that someone should be put up on charges. So like, and that's just for physicality. You know what I mean? Like, what we saw was horrific, but like, I do get, and like, I do have questions down the line, but I'm like, do you stay in touch with your sorority sisters? Or like, did this actually help you get a job? ? Stay at home mom that like, whose husband, who I think is gay, you know, did this actually help you in your life? Or are you a busybody that's like domineering your daughter?
Let me first tell you that I think that you and I could executive produce a fantastic forthcoming show we need to cast. And it's about adult women who still are in sorority mode.
Kate would line up to my television every single day to watch it.
I know. So that's the first thing I want to say is if you are listening to the show and you are someone who's still very much in that life, like talking about how you were a Theta and a Kappa and you can't stand the woman who lives in your town because she was not a Kappa. Like, no, I need you to reach out to me.
And still hangs out with your sorority sisters. Like, you go on trips together. Like, that to me is fun and makes sense of why you do this. Yeah.
That is what the show I would really like to make now. So
would love to watch.
And I would like to cast that. So if you are listening to this and you know people or you are one of those people, please reach out to me because I think that could be hilarious. Especially if your husband was in a fraternity too.
No, I know. And they're like, no,
I think that might be more fun than watching girls that are really insecure and just trying to figure themselves out, desperately trying to get acceptance. I think the adult one would be funnier.
What was the show? like at one point I was like, is this a trailer for the next episode? Like, what's happening?
I do feel like maybe they said to
being
some
a show
of them
and turned into like me watching Zooms. And I was like, what's happening?
Well, it was filmed 2 years ago. So we're talking what, on the last of the dribbles of COVID or something?
No, I know, but they just stopped getting access to like what the show is about once the girls go to school because they like can't film any of it because it's like on a campus.
Yeah, they're like, what? I was actually surprised how much footage they got of Ole Miss. Like that. I don't think it was like Rogue or something.
Or they just like were like some school. They probably reached out to every school and was like, "Will you?"
Yeah, I think there was a dad
and someone
wearing
said, "Sure."
a GoPro. And they just didn't think anything of it because it was like some weird dad. But that's how they got the footage.
No, but it's still, you still have to like legally, they still need to like approve.
Oh, they have to, like people have to
like technically
abide by the law.
Like I've had to go through the rigmarole of contract shit to be able to film on a school campus. It is like a legal nightmare.
Yes, Mr. Gecko, you're a huge inspiration to us all. But who was your muse?
Oh, my dear old Nan. She imparted many wise words to me. She would say, never let the fame get to your head, always remember who you are, and let people get more than just savings with Geico's fast and friendly claim support. I lived up to her advice, and now anyone can file a claim anywhere and anytime. I miss her so much.
Did she go somewhere?
Yeah, extended quilting trip.
Oh.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
It's your man, Nick Cannon, and I'm here to bring you my new podcast, Nick Cannon at Night. I've heard y'all been needing some advice in the love department. So who better to help than yours truly? Nah, I'm serious. Every week, I'm bringing out some of my celebrity friends and the best experts in the business to answer your most intimate relationship questions. Having problems with your man? We got you. Catching feelings for your sneaky link? Let's make sure it's the real deal first. Ready to bring toys into the bedroom? Let's talk about it. Consider this a non-judgment zone to ask your questions when it comes to sex and modern dating in relationships, friendships, situationships, and everything in between. It's gonna be sexy, freaky, messy, and you know what? You'll just have to watch the show. So don't be shy. Join the conversation and head over to YouTube to watch Nick Cannon at Night or subscribe on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. Want to watch episodes early and ad-free? Join Wondery Plus right now.
Okay, so the focus of the show is supposed to be about the emotional, social, financial preparation from onboarding multiple outfits to creating social media profiles in order to get into one of these sororities. So the high-stakes sorority recruitment process, emphasizing how deeply the mothers are invested, and in some cases, as much as the daughters themselves. We've got a ragtag group of people that are making this deal happen. And one of them is a gentleman by the name of Bill Alverson, who immediately presents to me as someone who has watched every episode of Golden Girls and soon admits that he was at one time in a fraternity and then married a woman in a sorority and then promptly divorced her and is now married to a man. And I thought, now that sounds right.
My note is when this, and then in all capitals, homosexual, Rush consultant said he was married to a woman, I truly drew my last breath. I said, and then I said, then we revealed that he's now out of the closet and I was able to continue my life. I thought for sure he was going to be like, and my wife said, and I was like, truly the world stopped turning for one whole second. I was like, if they try to tell me that this man is married to a woman still, I'm going to just end it.
I know. I thought the same thing too. But then my immediate reaction was, oh, no. I don't like a man telling young women that they're overweight, that they don't, have appropriate eyebrow shape. I am not here for that. What did you think?
Did he say that though? Because I was loving when he was giving it to the mom.
Oh, yeah. No.
He was like bringing her down to the studs in the best way ever.
Well,
like I was into him.
He came out a little bit like a bull out of the gate. And he was like, I'm going to rip these women. They need to hear what I need to hear. And these girls, they better do this and that. And I was like, you're coming a little strong for girls that had just graduated from high school.
Was built to be on this reality show. Do you know what I mean? Like he's a reality show walking. Like, he's like, he reminds me of like, well, one of my first notes is this is toddlers and tiaras, but once they grew up. And I said, Emily is the mom. Emily is Mama June.
Yeah.
Or no.
Emily and her Carol Ann the mom.
Yeah, Carol Ann the mom is Mama June and Emily is Honey Boo Boo. Like, right? Hello?
Yeah. Carol Ann. Look into the light, Carol Ann. Look into the light.
Yeah.
I should note to you, and this will come as no shock to you, that Bill Alverson, this is his third time on reality TV.
Well, sure.
Had appearances in Coach Charming and the Netflix series Insatiable because he's also a pageant coach because, of course.
Yeah. No, he is Remember on Honey Boo Boo, the cousin something? Remember that was like the pageant? He was like, walk this. And then she's like, and then remember Mama G was like, everyone's a little bit gay. Like that's like literally who he is, but like more waspy.
Yes. So then the other one is a woman by the name of Brandis. And at first I went to her Instagram. I went, she's doesn't seem to have a huge following. But then I went on TikTok and she has about 500,000 followers. And she's known as the Rush Talk Authority. And I think she's a hair and makeup artist, maybe like from the deep south.
This is the woman who I said, I wrote, this TikTok expert truly should be put up on charges for her hair and makeup alone. It might have been the worst makeup and hair I've ever seen.
I was confusing. And then I just watched a recent video because I was doing my research. And she did like a top 20 outfits of the Rush Week, like her favorites. And the first one, I was like, okay. And then when we went to numbers 2 through 7, I thought, there is no way this woman should be like any sort of expert on style. It would be like a prom dress, Jessica McClintock from 1983. And she'd be like, I love this look. She
looked like a failed drag queen that was trying to do like a Dorinda Medley drag. Like, and it was I've never seen her lip liner alone. Again, federal charges should be brought against this woman.
But why does she film it where it's like above
her head, like looking down? Because she looks insane. I don't know.
She does look insane. I think if it was filmed differently, it would come across as different.
Her roots of her hair were like sticking straight up and then coming out. Like she looked insane. And then and again, like this is the person who has like
woman ridiculing these young girls. Like, about.
Look in the fucking mirror is what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Charlatan woman.
And what is her background? Was she like a theta at some school? And then, they didn't really explain that. Like, why is she the expert? Because it could have just been some lady who works in a salon who was like, oh, I remember sororities. And then she started making videos and people were like, okay, she's an expert.
No, Kate, you don't even get me started. You know how much I'm like, I've said this to you like 9 million times off and on pod of like, people can just be like, oh, I'm an expert in this and like make an Instagram account and like we believe them.
Yes,
like this is some random woman. P.S. What's her background? What's her ethnic background? Because she's like in whiteface. She could be like black if we all know. Like she was like, looked like white chicks, like for real. It was like really bad. Her makeup was the worst thing I've ever seen. Like I'm like, I shouldn't be listening to you about any,
you know
like,
what? They're in on the joke, right? Because reality TV producers are like, we want you to be exactly as you are. And that's why you're on TV.
Yes, duh.
Yeah. Okay.
But the fact that what a nightmare.
Wow.
That woman was.
All right. So we've got these two moms. Now we should tell people it's 10 episodes. And every episode's going to be a different mom and daughter. So
yeah, I didn't gather that until I got to the end of the,
Well, I think you're right. Because the whole time you're like, we're going to go through 10 episodes of this long and drawn out process. Like,
of just these two.
Is necessary. So the first episode is two of these mom-daughter duos, Emily and Carol Ann. Look into the light, Carol Ann from Poltergeist. She's trying to get into a sorority at Auburn. Now, Carol Ann went there and she likes to tell you, not only was she in a sorority, but like literally every member of their family is as well. And that is why it's so important for her daughter, who shows zero interest in being a sorority, should also be in one. And then you've got Isabella. She's the sister of McKenna. And her mother clearly was a pageant person or still maybe in the pageant world. And her dad, who probably wasn't a frat and like watches football all the time. And their lives are about makeup and like lashes and how you present oneself. McKenna is in one sorority and basically says to Isabella, if you're not in that sorority, we cannot have the sister bond that we really, truly should have because it's going to be a big time breakup. And then the mom's sort of in the middle like, I don't know. She just got to make up her mind. I know it's so important to them at that time, but I kept thinking, when you're 26, are you going to look back and be like, I was a crazy person?
And also, like, you're letting these stupid fucking sororities dictate if you and your sister are going to be close. Again, this is where you lose me. You know what I mean? I get, you can tell me all the reasons that you want to.
She's weeping about it. Yep.
Like, that's cultic behavior. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, if you're not here, you're a suppressive person and I have to disassociate. I have to, you know what I mean? Speaking of this week, big Shelley revelations this week, by the way. So like, I got Shelley on the brain like no one's business. But like, right? Like that's like cultic behavior.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
is like, cultic a word? Yeah. Am I making that up?
No, I'm into it.
But like, what? I'd be like, if that's what my sister said to me, I'd be like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, what are you saying to me?
Well, and then that whole thing happens. Didn't she just join the same sorority as her sister?
Yeah. Yes.
But Bill Alverson was like, girl, you got to do this for you. I'm like, they're acting like this is the Olympics.
Yeah, like truly like it's the Olympics.
I didn't get it. And then Carol Ann, I mean, God bless. She takes her daughter to like a hairstylist for a hair makeover so her hair looks luxurious because God bless. Like it's hard to have hair in Alabama. It really is because it's humidity, et cetera.
Yeah.
I do think her hair looked better. After, but I was like, who is this
it always looks good when you go to the salon and have a professional do your hair. Yeah, of course. When you just doing it yourself, yeah.
I know, but was he a professional? Like I said, he looked like he was in a cottage.
No, sure. When that homosexual said to the mom, like, it looks like you put a toaster in the bathtub, and she goes, mm-hmm, and she goes, mm-hmm, and the daughter goes, he's talking about you. I was on the floor.
I know. Emily is someone who I think that they probably were like, the mom's the big personality of these two. Nope, You're wrong. It's Emily. Emily's sarcastic and cutting, and she's everything that we would love and celebrate in the Northeast.
And like, she is like, at every turn is going to show her mom what an idiot she is. Like, she knew exactly what she was doing for us to be like, isn't my mom a fucking nightmare? And we're like, yeah, she sure is. Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. All right. So here's what I was thinking. let's say you and I are going to go back in time at our age. We walk in at 18 into one of these houses. We're not allowed to make jokes, but we have to somehow show our personality. What do we say?
I don't even know. Nothing. Like I literally
feel like I'd be like, tell me about your parents. Anybody on drugs?
Yeah, you'd be like, did you come from a broken home? But they don't even want that. They want to be like, I'm just like really interested in like being able to like represent and like really like it's a bunch of just words that they're saying.
Yeah, like
and,
word salad about charity.
But like buzzwords and like, you know, it's really like, you know, like I'm really just excited to represent and also like, you know, the core values I want to align with. Like it's just, and what are those core values? We'll never know. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they want to hear. It's just like, are you a robot human? Like, okay, great.
When I was in college, somebody told me, and it was backed up by two people, so I'm going to presume it was true, that at the University of Maryland, there was one sorority in particular that would make the girls during rush stand up on a platform in a bikini and take a Sharpie and circle their fat.
On top of the washing machine. So that they would see where the jiggled. That was like that's like the urban legend of the world.
Yeah, is that?
I think
like
it's happened. I think it's happened. I wrote this conversation about how the mom is so worried her daughter is going to be devastated, but then continues to push her even harder in every way to get into sorority. LOL.
I mean, and
like she's like, I'm so nervous that they're going to be like, you're so fat and blah, blah, blah. And then she's and then the guy's like, yeah, like they will say that to her. And she's like, I know, I'm so worried, but she has to get into this sorority. And I'm like...
He did show a moment of humanity where he was like, look, let's be honest. You put your daughter in this position and it's awful. Then I was like, okay, Bill's coming around.
Oh, no, I was into him. I was like cheering him on. I was like, yes, get her. Like, tell her.
Tell her. Yeah, okay.
And I said, I said, okay, I love that the expert is telling the mom that she's a monster and pushing her daughter into a horrific situation.
And that poor sweet dad, he just keeps getting those Amazon packages from Kohl's.
I know. I wrote, okay, I'm attracted to the dad, question mark. And I said, who is 100% gay?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
Wow.
Anyway.
Logistics. I felt like they filmed in Carol Ann's house for about 3 seconds. And then all the other filming was in some VBRO. Then it was like a coastal home. And they didn't explain why that was happening.
I wonder if because here's if we want to get into like the technicalities of everything, like they're clearly filming in their homes, like in the summer, right? And so it's like, I would be out there like right now, like filming. But then like when they go back to school, they have nowhere other than the dorm rooms. Again, they probably can't film at all on campus legally.
Okay. Right.
So they can't, and especially if it's going to be on Lifetime, like they're like the legal department of Lifetime would never let them just like go rogue and like go on they wouldn't air.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't be able to use that footage because it's not legally obtained. So like, they probably can't record. They probably can't record on the campus, but then she's at school. So they probably have to like rent an Airbnb to be like their house to pretend so that the girl can just come over and then like have scenes with her mom.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I would like rent an Airbnb and be like, okay, this is like your house. I don't know. Or like a house, or just not say anything and be like, okay, like you're going to sit down and like talk.
Okay.
Because it's like close to the school, but there's no place for them to actually like film. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so what's the net? Are you going to watch another episode of the show?
No.
Okay.
And here's why. I wrote, I need the scene where Honey Boo Boo is cut from Mama June's sorority to be a real scene, not a FaceTime. I don't need to see like the sister. Like that to me is television. Hello? Yeah. That the mom is devastated because Honey Boo Boo is like, no. Like isn't invited to her sorority. That's like the mom's world like crashing down around her. Like that needs to be the daughter coming to the mom and saying that, not can we get the sister and the mom on a FaceTime that we record? Like, no.
And a reenactment at that. Carol Ann was like, let me pretend that I didn't know this information already.
Yes. Like, so it's sad. The part that sucks is that you lose access because Rush is like over the whole first semester of the school. It's not like they do it for a week and then it's over. They do it for like, oh my God, you know what's so funny too is like they used to like, they would like call the girl, the rushers or whatever, what are they called? The
PNMs.
The potentials, yeah. They would, and when I was in college, they would like call them and be like, all right, it's 10 p.m., like bring a pillow and a blanket and like you have to like show up here and you have to like be out all night and like do this thing or whatever. Do this like charity.
What do they have to do?
No, I don't know. There was like, when I was at school, there was like a huge push to like stop hazing in sororities and frats. That was like a big talk amongst like in news organization, like in the news and stuff. Like there was a huge push for that. So they were like trying to do things that weren't as like bad, but they would have to like, I remember always seeing like on the bus, when we'd be like on the bus around campus, there'd be girls like with like an overnight bag and a pillow.
Oh.
And that was like, you have to come like sleep at but the thing, we didn't have sorority houses. So it was like all frat houses. So it was like, you would have to come like sleep in the dorms of the sorority and like clean people's up dorms or something. I don't know what they did, but like they'd have to like bring their pillow and bag and you'd be like, oh, there's the Rush girls like going to like wherever.
Oh.
I would love to do a podcast where like former people come and tell us what happened.
I know. I think Jen Vessler is doing that actually.
I know, but I think it's like more pro sorority.
Oh, okay.
Like I want it to be like a true crime.
You want it to be like a true crime.
Should we do that together? Should that be our
podcast? Absolutely.
I know. We could do it. We all right. Well, okay. This is a deaf meaning. No one take that idea. I said this show should be called Sins of the Mother.
Sins of the Mother. Yeah. Because it really is, to me, this is a show about the moms. Because the girls, I think they're in on the joke. They're like, okay, whatever. This is my opportunity to be an influencer, sure.
100%. They're like, yeah, my fucking piece of shit mom, here we go. Like, yeah I'm riding it straight to the top, which they should, bless.
Yeah.
Truly. But again, like, I need them on campus. I need her filming herself in her dorm room.
Yeah.
On her iPhone being like, this is what just happened. It was like, at one point I literally rewound it because I was like, wait, did I miss what happened? Like, is this like next time on? Like, because it was just like out of nowhere. It was like that charlatan that I think should be in jail was like, if Emily doesn't think that she should be doing this, she should be. And I was like, why are you talking to me about this? Like, I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, I get it.
It was so clear that they just like they were not able to get the like storytelling to like vehicles that they needed to tell this story. So instead it was like...
Also, isn't the first episode out of the gate the one that you're the most proud of? Zizou. Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, if this isn't... Like, even if it's afterwards, I need them to recreate some scenes where it's like, this is what they've gone through. Like the part where we talk so much about like building this world of the sorority people rushing. And then it's like, okay, but then like when it's time to like see it happen in real time, they like, it doesn't, I don't get that story at all. I get like a 10-minute highlight reel of like what happened and what didn't. And I'm like, oh, you just like spent half this episode like getting me emotionally invested in Honey Boo Boo and that gorgeous girl, by the way. I was like, you don't need to be in a sorority. You need to be a model.
She is beautiful.
She was so beautiful. It was insane. And it's like, I was like into them, but now I'm like, okay, I'm just like getting updates on the screen of like what happened. Like, why can't I get her and why isn't the girl on FaceTime why isn't Honey Boo Boo on the FaceTime with Mama June crying, being like, I don't want to do this anymore. And like, I'm walking away from it, you know?
I also would love it if, and I don't think this is possible, but I'd love one sorority girl just do, and it could be like a show done on their iPhone where they're just giving me updates. Okay, I went into the house and the DG house, and here's what you need to know. There's a girl named Francine, and she is the daughter of a rancher, and she's been hooking up with a guy named Billy for about 3 months. I got to tell you, Billy's cheating on her with her sorority sister. That is what I want.
Yes.
How hard is it to kill a planet? Maybe all it takes is a little drilling, some mining, and a whole lot of carbon pumped into the atmosphere. When you see what's left, it starts to look like a crime scene.
Are we really safe? Is our water safe? You destroyed our town.
And crimes like that, they don't just happen.
We call things accidents. There is no accident. This was 100% preventable.
They're the result of choices by people. Ruthless oil tycoons, corrupt politicians, even organized crime. These are the stories we need to be telling about our changing planet. Stories of scams, murders, and cover-ups that are about us and the things we're doing to either protect the Earth or destroy it. Follow Lawless Planet on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to new episodes of Lawless Planet early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Okay, well, there's another show that people can currently stream. It's called Love is Blind. It's the UK version. And so the participants are from UK, Ireland. Obviously, you're taking a less conventional approach to modern dating by meeting someone through a wall. You know, we've seen the US version.
Tale as old as time.
What do you think? Now, by the way, this is season 2, but what do you think of the difference between US and UK? Are you interested? Did you stay, were you invested?
Yes, so much more than I feel like I'm the only reason I'll watch Love is Blind US anymore is to come on this here show and talk about it with you because it's the time of my, I have the time of my life doing that. But I just simply am not I don't want to be, I want to get off the ride for myself. But yet I don't think that will happen for me. And so that's its own problem. But this one was oh, these people aren't all now it's just who's the most money grubbing person in America that wants to come on and be famous on Instagram. That's who we're getting. Whereas these people, because it's only season 2, I'm still I really do think they actually want to meet someone and be here.
Yeah. Well, this one, the cast, if you will, for lack of a better term, they range from 26 to 37. Among them is a professional dancer, a single dad, and even a dating app founder who hasn't swiped right on Mrs. Right. It is hosted by a married couple, much like Vanessa and Nick Lachey. Emma,
are they together?
Yeah.
They're so hot, by the way.
She's a broadcaster, former Big Brother presenter, and her husband, Matt, is a musician and the co-founder of the pop band Busted. So, yeah, they've got a sexual energy that I was
so
feeling.
into them. They're hot. And they they could be in the pods with these people. We would never know the wiser. You know what I'm saying? It's up here. They're not fucking Nick and Vanessa, being annoying.
Yeah, you're right. They seem like old elder statesmen who come in let me tell you about how marriage works. And these two in the UK are fun.
And they again, if they were just in the cast, they'd be oh yeah, here they are. These two other people on the pods. It's not you would see Vanessa Lachey and be say we don't know that she's famous. We know nothing about her. We'd be why is this woman here? You know what I mean? They're just so different from I felt those people, they seem like they're peers of the people.
Although I will say that if I was asked to be the host of one of these shows, I would enjoy getting information out of people via beer pong or wine pong, something fun, instead of walking in with a prom dress and then standing there and explaining to the young people. Well, after 17 years of marriage, this is what I know is true. They don't care. They want to play wine pong.
Yeah.
Okay. Cast of characters, a few standouts. Billy Jervis Jr., 35 from Ireland, Army veteran and fitness trainer, quickly connects with Ashley, 30-year-old flight attendant and former Army cadet from Surrey. So the shared military backgrounds and mutual affection, quite something to watch. Were you into it?
I love them. I want them to win. I want them to be married. I want them to say yes. I was so into them. I thought she is so beautiful, in every way.
Sparkly,
and seems
sparkly.
A genuine, nice girl.
Yeah. They all
and he's
nice,
so handsome. He's so hot too. They were both just beautiful. And when they came together and when you see them reveal each other, they clearly really were wow. That you saw the sparks flying. I'm sorry to say. And there was no boom, will this work? I was they're going to do it. They're going to do it. I felt good. I felt good about it versus in the US one now, every reveal is
yikes.
Which one of these people is going to murder the other person? And you're literally have the blanket over your head because you're too scared to see them see each other. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You know what I would pay extra for as a bonus show? I pay-per-view style. If they showed the outtakes of Love is Blind over the years where someone the curtain closes and they're you're kidding me with that. That guy with 3 eyeballs.
I know, but they would show that. They wouldn't not show. Please, they eviscerate these people in the edit. They would not show that.
Yeah. Okay. A couple other ones. Cal is a gym owner, competitive athlete, and he had a strong connection with Sarover.
He has. He's the one with that haircut. That's so tragic.
Of course.
That I'm oh brother. But
I feel she's containing herself. She seems to be fun, but she's not letting anybody show it. You've got Kieran, gaming entrepreneur, and a total bro. Cute guy.
I know. I liked him though. I was not if he was an American, I'd be this fucking piece. I would be on here
But the accent makes you like him. Yep.
I know. And he doesn't seem like a turd. You know what I mean? Usually if it was I'm a gamer, I'm oh, you Twitch loser. You know what I mean? I would be normally I'd come here and want to crucify him, but there was something, the accents really make us feel that they're earnest people.
When he's a gaming entrepreneur, in his daily life, does he always have a Janet Jackson headset on? Is that what you see him at the store in one of those?
I would assume that he's a Twitch streamer that streams themselves playing video games, which hey, way worse ways to make money. Just saying that.
No, I'm sure they make a ton of money, but it's still weird. Oh,
I mean, like, sure. It's just like, he's like already, no. Yeah, who is he? Travis Kelce?
Yeah, exactly.
But like that, yeah. No, I mean, it is what I mean, again, way worse ways to make money. I mean, it's weird, but like, but at least he's not like some guy who's like, I'm just an accountant and then is going to like ditch her to be like, I'm Instagram famous now. Cause he like probably already is. If he makes money off of it, you know?
Then there's the one girl, Sophie, and I think she kind of likes Kieran too, but this is what I want to ask you. It's a very beautiful blonde girl. She's really contained. And he's like, listen, like, I'm interested in you, but you just don't give anything back. And she's like, I know, but it's really hard for me to open up. I'm like, why did you sign up for the show? But then when she finds out that he gave another girl a gift, she's like, I guess I have to open up. But then she sort of like rushes it. It's like he sits on the couch and she's like, I don't even remember what she told him. Like, when I was 3, I almost died in a car accident. I don't remember what it was.
I honestly don't even remember.
Totally.
So that's like so horrible. But yeah, I don't even remember what she said.
Well, because it felt so inauthentic because she was like, so I'm going to open up and then like throw some spaghetti at the wall. And he's like, okay, thanks for opening up. I feel like, I don't know if she really wants to meet someone or she thought this was a vehicle for maybe to get herself out there, but she seems to have immediately began the process and rethought it. Like, why am I here? And then is like, I guess I have to let them know a little bit about myself. She strikes me as somebody, no one even knows if she has the name, like siblings or where she lives.
She also, she's like, I'm really guarded.
Yeah, she keeps telling, yes.
Yeah, and P.S., like upset everything when they be like, oh, we're having a big chat. We're having a big chat, aren't we? Like the way that they just talk and like they're like little slang that they say that we would like, it feels like they talk so fast, but it's because we like don't understand what they're saying. Like when they're like she's like, oh, my name is this. He's like, oh, I didn't even ask. Like we bit a chat right now, like something. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, and I think it's like so funny and it's like so dumb. It's like, it's just us being like, oh, look, like it's what me and you would say to each other. I'd be like, oh, it's just us blabbing on. Like, which like isn't even funny. And I'm like in stitches, like crying over like them just like saying random slang words. And I think it's hilarious. Meanwhile, they're like, they could be idiots and I'd be none the wiser. But I think, she's just like one of those people. She reminds me a little bit of...
She's maybe so pretty. She just is like, I don't have to work at it.
She reminds me of that. What was it, Madison? The one that we were like polar opposite, different on and like fought about the whole time. Like she reminds me of her where she's like been really pretty. Guys like lust after her. And that's like whether within her own doing or not is like been a problem for her whole life. You know what I mean?
Well, I think when you're that attractive, you don't have to put much effort into it. And that's the beauty of the social experiment is like, they have no idea what you look like. So your personality might actually suck.
When she was mad because he gave that girl like the Japanese thing or whatever, something from Japan because they like travel together or they like both like to travel. And she was like, you didn't even realize what it would be like when I had to go in that room. It's like, but that's like not on him. Like he like, okay.
But he says to her, he goes, this is a social experiment.
Yeah. And also this is a TV show also. So like, let's just stop.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that she was like, no, I want to be done. I'm leaving. And I was like, okay, good. Like what I don't like is when they're like, wait, hold on. Let me like make something up so I can try to like
stay on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, this leaves me with my last question. As I watched this, I thought, what would Chris and I be like if we were on the show? Like, what would we talk about in the rooms? So let's say you're across the wall from a potential mate. What are the things that you're revealing, or do you reveal very little? And like, what's some of the topics of conversation? Like somebody walks in, they're like, oh, who's there? And you're like, it's Chris. Then what do you say?
Oh God, I don't even know. I feel like they give them questions to ask them at the beginning.
Yeah, maybe like if
you know what I'm saying? No, because there's like
zip lining. What do you think?
This is a good one. Like someone was like, oh, this is a good one. What blah, blah, blah. I think they give them like icebreaker questions to like just run through, which is funny because it's like, because it is hard. Because when you think of like, what would you say first? Like, I have no idea. Like, how old are you? Where do you live?
This is up my alley. I would get
how old are you? Where do you live? Like, do you have siblings? Like, are your parents alive? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like,
my goal is in that 15 to 20 minute process that I learn more than anybody else because I'm competitive. And then the notebook would just be filled with notes. I think for you, the notebook, they could sell that for bonus pay-per-view coverage. All of your notes on the other person would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Like all caps, question mark. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, like
federal
what is
charges.
this? Yeah, federal charge brought up on charges. Yeah. It's just very, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this reminds me of the old show that like we just don't have anymore in the US, like the UK version. Is this now or is this like have they just done season 2 recently or are we just getting this season 2 because we don't live in the country that they're in?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Like if I go on you know what I mean? Is this like...
I feel like it's at real time. I think it's in real time.
Because that's my biggest question is like, is this just 5 years later? Like, is this 5 years old that we are just seeing now because we live in America? Or
like
is it
Billy and Ashley already have twins in 4th grade?
But that's my biggest question for you. I thought you would know this. Is this happening now or like? But I think I think we are right that it is happening now or like last year. But it's like, is this season 1 of this show in the US was like before COVID? So it's like, is this season 2, aka like 2020 version, or what's going on?
Here's a question too. As these shows go on, less people drink and more people do like mushrooms and vape and all that stuff. So what's the point of the goblets? Just for like a Diet Coke?
Don't get me started with the goblets and the fucking one. Like it's so fucking stupid.
Wayfair Dungeon?
The Wayfair Dungeon. I will say though, I liked their pods. I liked aesthetically more than the US ones. And I liked their interview setup.
Okay.
Like it's very similar, but it's different. And there was a lot of like purples and like it was more like moody
warm,
and like
warm.
It was warm and it was again less like beige.
Yeah.
And I like really liked that. It felt very calming. It felt very like homey. It felt very expensive versus I feel like the one in our US set is much more like sanitized.
And then you juxtaposition that with like Love Island USA, which is like neon colors and like blinding light that you would have it like trying on a dress at Bloomingdale's.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
It's not good.
I've never watched one episode of Love Island.
Oh, it would be hard for you because they have non-conversations. It's like, oh my God, I love water. You do? Oh my God, I love water.
No, I can't. And again, like, not to quote myself, but like, we'll never see them again. Like, it's like, they literally like will come on this show. They're either going to get married or they're not. And we're going to do a reunion.
Yeah.
And then we'll forget what their names are. Like that's again, that's how the cookie crumbles.
Well, I think there's so many things to watch now. We don't really want to take up too much space by remembering their names anymore. Of course, I will. I'll see them 10 years from now and remember they were on Love is Blind and now they're in a movie starring, Ralph Fiennes.
Sure, they wish. Are you kidding me? They wish they were in a movie starring Ralph Fiennes. Like, I think that like there's a part of it where it's like, do I even want to see any of the... I almost want them to like go on a date and then tell me how it was afterwards and then that's the end of the show. Do you know what I mean? It's like I almost want it to be a revolving door of the pods, which I think is the most fun part of it. And then the reveals of them seeing each other. Like we said, like I'm fast forwarding through like the families being like, are you ready to do this? Like, I don't think you are. Like, I'm over that. Like, I don't care. They drag it out so long now or almost like they go to the honeymoon thing, like in Cabo or whatever. And then at the end of the honeymoon thing, they just like get married or they don't.
Do you think that they put it in the contract? You cannot get pregnant until after the reunion?
No.
Or they want them to?
I don't know. But like, I don't think there's anything like that.
Like we've never had a situation where it's like, we met, we fell in love, and now we're 4 months pregnant, or she is 4 months pregnant. Never had it.
No, thank God. I wouldn't want to have to deal with the fallout of whatever that was.
The fallout. Yeah, that's true. Tell everybody what you've got going on Fixing Famous People this week.
Oh my God, what do we have going on? We're going to be recapping the And Just Like That final season.
Boisers.
And I have so many things. I don't know if that's going to come out this week or not. I'm not sure what episode will actually come out this week because we've been banking them. But we have a lot of really fun things happening. A lot of really fun celebs being fixed, a lot of fun guests. And we just did an episode with you fixing Orlando Bloom that everyone really loved. So if you, have never listened to my show before, run, do not walk to the Orlando Bloom episode with KKC.
Yeah, that was a good time. I have lots of thoughts about him.
Yeah.
And where can people follow you?
They can follow me at the Chris DeRosa, and they can follow my podcast at Fixing Famous People.
Thank you, Chris DeRosa.
And they can follow our new podcast called sorority crush.
Oh, but by the way, again, if you or someone you know
this is real.
is right now living a life that is very much still as an adult in the realm of sorority life and fraternity life. You're married to a guy in a frat, or maybe you guys have a friend group that people are still very much in the Delta, Delta, Delta realm. Like, I need you to reach out to us because we feel like this would be a really fun show to watch.
And again, like that would shut me up as far as like, why do people go in sororities? Like one of my old notes that I did not get to was like, I want to see these moms hanging out with their old sorority sisters.
That's what I want to see.
Do they even talk to them? Question mark.
Do they talk to us? So especially if you like still get together and you still go on like trips. And also my ideal situation is a couple that met in college at maybe like Alabama or something, fraternity and sorority. And then they got married and they had twins. And those kids are rushing for sorority and fraternity at their college. And they're in the backseat of the car looking at each other like, can you believe these two dodo birds are our parents?
Like prom king and queen married each other and now are like trying to
that's what I want.
Bride. Well, in the previews, it's like all these moms being like, I'm living vicariously through you. and the daughters are like, okay.
Honest.
The daughters are like, okay, like you psychopath. Like, it's,
yeah.
Oh, brother, get a hobby is what I say. Anyway.
Well, it's surprising none of those sorority girls come home and they're like, you guys don't understand. I need to have this necklace. And not one parent is like the Dan Rodrigues of it all going, I mean, is it really that important?
You're like, no, yeah.
Not one of them.
But again, none of those people were casted on the show. They wanted toddlers and tiaras for adults as college age. That's what this show is, which if that's what you want to watch, have at it because that's what you're watching and it's great.
Yeah. Well, all right. God bless.
God bless.
The amazing Kate Casey.
I want to thank my great guest, Chris DeRosa, and remind you to make sure that you click subscribe. Please leave a 5-star review. Join the Facebook group, Reality Life with Kate Casey. You can get my must-watch list of what to watch each week in unscripted TV by going to katecasey.substack.com. And please follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at @KatecaseyCA, TikTok, it's Kate Casey, and Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky at Kate Casey. Check back tomorrow for an all-new episode with the team behind Hard Knocks, the Buffalo Bills.
Wherever you go, whatever they get into, from chill time to everyday adventures, protect your dog from parasites with Credelio Quattro. For full safety information, side effects, and warnings, visit CredeliaQuattroLabel.com. Consult your vet or call 1-888-545-5973. Ask your vet for Credelio Quattro and visit QuattroDog.com.